Hi friend, I know you're ready for another hair video. My name is Crystal. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm sure you can tell it is definitely time to do something with this. I do need to wash my hair, but also like the blonde clearly needs to be touched up. So we're gonna be tackling both of those in one. I know you can see this little orangey brown color right here. That was the last time I bleached my hair, the day before Thanksgiving. So it's been over a month since I last bleached it. And I have this little bit of new growth right here. I'm using the same brand of lightener that I used last time, Age Beauty, but this is a cream lightener. The last time I used a powder lightener. So a cream lightener this go round. I also have the Age Beauty Developer, the T18 toner in the lightest ash blonde. Before we get started, I'm gonna change my shirt so I don't make a mess. I just changed shirts and I've let my hair loose. I just love getting on here and showing you guys how crazy my hair looks all the time. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and start parting my hair, making sure to separate the blonde from the black. Because I'm only touching up the roots, I don't mind getting a couple strands of the black hair mixed in with the blonde section. It's not really gonna hurt anything. I did the same thing the last time and it wasn't too obvious, so it's something that I'm not too worried about. The reason there's a lot of big loose curls in my hair is because I've been wearing a lot of braids and low buns lately. I just didn't want to touch my hair, so I would do 1 or 2 large braids or a low or high bun just to get it out the way. I've been pushing off washing my hair for so long. Every other day it's tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. That's all I ever hear from you.
What's wrong with tomorrow? It's a good day.
I sound like Oscar from Hey Arnold, and you know what? Today is the day. So I detangled the hair in the back and I'm pinning it up just so it's out of the way, and then we're gonna finish our prep work so we can get started. I'm a little bit worried about frying my hair right here at this line where this like golden blonde meets this ashy white blonde. So I'm putting just a little bit of coconut oil right there in that area. I'm putting it a little bit on the line and then obviously a little bit past it onto the white hair, because that hair is the color I need it to be, so I don't need to bleach past that. So if any bleach does seep over, at least this will protect it. I had this idea to put a piece of saran wrap on top of the natural hair. 1, so I don't have any of the lightener bleeding over to the natural hair, and 2, it's a surface that I can work on. Now that all the boring prep is done and out of the way, we're gonna go in and start mixing our chemicals and having fun. This is the cream lightener from Age Beauty. Again, I've used this same one, but in a powder form, not a cream. So I'm interested to see how well the cream does compared to the powder. Gloves for safety, of course. And this is gonna be a 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 ounce of cream lightener to 1 ounce of developer. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. This is a 2-ounce bottle, so I only used half of it. And I'm gonna go. Not sure if you just saw that, but I dropped the bowl. Thank God this is cream. That would have went everywhere, but every single thing stayed in the bowl. All right, now I'm gonna go in with my developer. I'm gonna look just in case. I'm just gonna mix it with my brush. I'm gonna go ahead and get started lightening. So I'm gonna voice over this part. That way I can be as quick as I can. I always go in with thin sections, that way I can make sure I'm coating as much of the hair as possible. And then I'm bleaching this orangey brown section first. I'm not gonna go too far up onto the whiter, lighter blonde because that's already the color I need it to be. So I'm just focusing on that orangey brown section for now. I'm gonna stress again, thin sections, because that's key. And I'm so glad I used the saran wrap. That way I can lay it back on the saran wrap without having to worry about anything bleeding through. I'm coating everything that I can, making sure there is a good layer on there. I'm doing this part first because it's not directly on the scalp, so it's not gonna get the heat that it needs to process quickly. If I were to do this brown section and the roots at once, it would come out orangey brown all over again, and I don't want that. So I'm taking my time to do this first. I'm gonna let this sit and process with a shower cap for about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and do the roots. Not too bad. After those 10 minutes, that orangey brown color really lifted to a color that I liked. I'm going to keep it on there. I'm not taking it off. I'm just going to go in and start applying the rest of the lightener to the roots. I'm making really thin parts. I'm not sure if you can tell, but they are very thin, and I'm really trying to saturate the root just to make sure I can get as much as I can. I don't want to skip any part of this because it'll be so obvious if I do. I was trying my best to cake it on, but also make sure I have enough to get to the other side. So I was a little skimp at first, but once I got to the other side and I realized I did have a good amount left, I did go back and add some more to the other side to make sure it was fully saturated. And the 1-to-1 ratio gave me literally just enough to get what I needed done. And then once that was over, I did go in, just make sure I smushed it in around the hairline, make sure it was thickly coated. I put the shower cap back on and I let this process for about 20 to 25 minutes. I am back from the sink and I just rinsed out the bleach and it's looking a lot better than it was before. I mean, there's definitely still a lot of like orange pieces like right here. I'm gonna go in and do a purple shampoo bath with my Shimmer Lights shampoo just to help tone out the yellow and the brassiness. I learned this tip or like trick from watching LaRasia Andrea. I love the way she does her blonde, so good. And she does a purple shampoo bath. You just rub your Shimmer Lights or whatever purple shampoo you have onto the recently bleached hair, and then you let it sit, and it tones out a lot of brass and yellow out of the hair, so it's left with like a paler white. It won't be completely ashy white, so this is just a precaution before I go in with my toner, and it does help, and honestly I love it. It's so simple and easy. I let this sit for about 20 to 25 minutes as well. I wash out the purple shampoo and I also wash my natural hair as well. I did braid up the blonde, that way it didn't get tangled in the natural hair. You can see I definitely still need to tone, but before I do that, I'm going to do this Bond Synergy Deep Treatment. This works so good. My natural hair looks really good and my blonde hair looks really good when I use it. It also feels really, really good. I heard that it's a dupe for the OLAPLEX Bond treatment thing, but I don't know because I've never tried the OLAPLEX version. This AGEbeauty one works so good with my hair. My curls are always popping after I use this. I usually put just a little extra of the Bond Synergy Deep Treatment on the blonde hair just because I know it's been processed. I know it needs that extra loving. And then I go ahead and braid up the blonde. That way it doesn't get tangled up when I wash it out, and I let this sit for 20 minutes. Now that the deep treatment is rinsed out, it is time to start toning. This is the toner that I love to use in the same ratio, 1-to-1. Give that a good mixy mix and it's time to start applying. I do this kind of similar to how I do the lightener. I'll take a small section of hair, I'll do the perimeter of that section, and then once that's done, I'll go in and make very small parts and spread more toner. Just making sure that I coat as much as I can. I'm applying it all over the roots and I'm going a little bit up further on the shaft to where I had the orange brown before. So anything that I lightened, I'm going to be toning. Because the toning process takes a little while, I leave my natural hair wrapped in this hair towel in the meantime. Yep, it's just how I do the lightener, so I do the process all across the whole section, and then once I get that done, I see a few pieces of the hair that got lightened on accident, so I'm just going to add a little toner to those as well. This is what it looks like when I am done. It's already turning purple. I let this sit for about 30 minutes, and this is how dark it got. This is how it's looking after I wash out the toner. It looks so much better, like literally night and day. And I didn't do the best job last time, so we had to correct it. Now I'm just going to be rubbing in some moisturizing hair milk into my hair. I make sure to coat everything, especially the blonde section. I want to make sure it's as hydrated as possible. I'm not going to dry my hair the same day. I'm going to wait until the next day. So I'm doing this just to make sure it's nice and moisturized until then. But I'm going to go in with my ColorWOW Extra Strength Dream Coat, my OLAPLEX No. 7 bonding oil, and I'm just going to apply that into my hair. So when I do my drying process, all I have to do is dry it, and it's a lot easier and quicker. I apply the Dream Coat to my roots and then to my ends especially, and then I just rub it through the rest of the hair. After, I seal it with the bonding oil, paying attention to my ends, definitely the ends, and then I do apply a little bit extra around the blonde hair, and I just work that throughout the entire section. Once I'm done doing that, I do a simple braid, and I do that to both sides, and then I go to bed and let it air dry, and I'll dry it the next day. The next day when I take down my braid, I can feel it's still obviously a little damp, but that's fine. I rub a little bit of oil through it. I get my T3 paddle brush dryer. I don't use the highest heat, and I just comb through and I dry it at the same time. I really love this paddle brush dryer. It works so well. It has like boar bristles in between it, along with the combs or like the teeth on the side of the brush as well. That helps like detangle the hair, comb the hair, and dry it all at once. It's so good. Once I do a small section, I'm gonna do just a simple little braid just to keep the hair out the way, and I continue doing this throughout all the hair. This takes me a long time. I'm not going to show you the entire process. That would take forever. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip through this. Obviously, I do this to both sides. And I was a little bit lazy, so I didn't end up straightening the same day. I pushed it off until the next day. Hi! It has been a few days and I still have not straightened my hair since I washed it. So we are going to straighten it now so we can go ahead and end the video and wrap it up. After I dried it, I did put it in 2 pigtails, and I've kept it in those 2 pigtails the past couple of days. So that's kind of what my hair is looking like right now. I'm going to use my Bondi Boost straightener, and I'm going to use the heat at 320. I'm gonna speed by this part because it's pretty simple, straightening your hair. I'm gonna go ahead and just section my hair. I like to do like 4 quadrants, and then from there, I'll just work in each piece. I already put heat protectants in my hair when I dried it, but that was a few days ago. So I'm gonna go in with a little mist of the ColorWOW Extra Strength, and then a couple of drops of the OLAPLEX oil. I typically try to do like 2 to 3 passes, not too many, especially with the heat that high. I typically try to keep it at the lowest at 280, but I think she needs just a little extra loving today, so we're gonna do 320. All right, so I just finished the first quadrant, still got 3 more to go, but this is how my hair looks. I don't like it to be like super silky, like bone straight. I like it to have just a little bit of like texture to it. Plus I'm thinking about doing some curls, but I'm not exactly sure. So I'm just gonna go ahead and straighten it so I can at least have that part done. And if I want to do curls, I can always do my overnight curler so I don't have to pull my hot tools back out. This took me so long to do, and it always does, because I try to go as slow as possible so I don't have to do multiple passes through, and my arms were killing me. And of course, to seal it up, I use the Fable and Mane hair oil. This smells so good. Like, I would have never thought to purchase this. So glad that it came in my Sephora swag bag. It is so good. I love it. Like, I will be buying more when this runs out. This is the final product. I know somebody's gonna say, it's still frizzy, it's not really straight, blah, blah, blah. That's fine, that's fine. Cause I like my hair like this. This looks good to me. I like this. I have fine hair, so I need a little volume. And the way I get a little volume is I don't silk straighten it, okay? And plus, like I said, in about a day or 2, I'm probably gonna put in a heatless curler because that's so much easier. Y'all, I'm so lazy. Like, I love to put my heatless curler in. 1, because the curls are so pretty, and 2, because I can actually keep my hair like up in that curler for like days if I need to without feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to do something with my hair, because it's done basically. That concludes the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you don't know, I am trying to get up to 500 subscribers. So if you like my content, you like what I do over here, you think it's a good time, hey, subscribe. Don't be afraid, subscribe. Or share it, send it to a friend, family member, whoever. I appreciate you so much for watching, but that is all the time we have today because I'm ready to put this hair up in a bonnet and sit on the couch and crochet because I love a good geriatric activity, babe. Bye.